you were anywhere near my Instagram last night, you would know that I spent the night watching Twister. This film is, if you notice, 1996. I talked about George of the Jungle, so my 90s cinema sweet spot, 94, 95 through 1997 or so. These are the films that I remember that I loved and probably that got me into being as nerdy about movies as I am. I was glad to rewatch this one knowing that we have Twisters hitting theaters, what, June ish? The reboot, remake, sequel, continuation, however we're going to think of that film. But this film, I had forgotten a lot about it. I think I watch this every couple of years or so. But rewatching it again last night, I remembered why I was a fan of the Bills in the 90s, this point in the 90s. And when I say the Bills, I mean Paxton and Pullman. They were two of the actors I remember hardcore fangirling about. And this is, to me, I know some people would disagree. We've got, his comedic roles in the 80s and other things. This is my Bill Paxton right here. Between this and Apollo 13, this is the Bill Paxton that I remember, the Bill Paxton that I love. But getting back to the actual main point, Twister. So the film follows a team of storm-chasing scientists trying to chase a tornado to roll out some new tornado tracking technology. Incredible cast, especially when viewed through a 2024 perspective here. I mean, Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, Cary Elwes, Philip Seymour Hoffman, we miss him, Lois Smith, and Alan Ruck. I love Alan Ruck. I was watching a lot of Spin City, probably at this point in the 90s, maybe whenever, give or take, a little before, a little after this. I saw Ferris Bueller pretty close to it, and so he was a favorite of mine as well. I'd forgotten he was in the film, so that was a fun surprise to see him. As a woman with, in her 30s with a little more experience, I had poor Melissa, the Jamie Gertz character. My heart hurt for everything she had to go through throughout that film. You knew exactly where that's going, and it's just, I want to say, oh honey, just go do you, go find you, because that was rough. And that was something, watching this with less lifetime experience. It was, the love story, of course, peak Bill Paxton getting to be peak Bill Paxton with Helen Hunt. But anyway, what always continues to amaze me, especially deep diving into kind of these nostalgic 90s favorites for me, is how well so many of these films hold up. I can be a jerk in my criticism and hit some of the Marvels and hit the Disney stuff and how they look. What I find really incredible with, a film like Twister last night, films like Independence Day, how gorgeous and how well made the effects, how well the effects hold up when, we were very limited to what we could do computer wise. It's harder to tell the line between computer and practical. And it's just, in this one in particular, just, there is plenty of room where you could see where it struggles, but it really didn't. And viewing this through a hardened 2024 lens, that really surprised me. I would have expected to be able to, oh look how bad, oh look how silly that looks. Oh, it really didn't. And that was such a joy to see, especially when we see so many films openly struggling with CGI and making things look realistic and like it has depth and personality, which is such a hard thing to do these days. But I am always Twister's not an easy one to find, at least on streaming. We ended up buying a cheap DVD because the family really wanted to see it. So we actually got it on physical media. It is available as a digital rental, but other than that, it is a bit harder to find, which is a tragedy. Here's hoping that the old one gets some love as the new one comes out and can get some more attention. But I'll go ahead and bring this to a close. Thank you so much, everyone. We will talk again soon. Bye, all.